So how do you increase your Akkermansia levels naturally? What actually even is Akkermansia? And why is it important for gut health? And why is it so much talked about these days in the media? The main reason is that Akkermansia has been shown to help with weight loss and satiety, which a lot of people are interested in. But Akkermansia has so many different functions. It's really an integral part of the gut mucosa. It helps with preventing things like leaky gut, reducing down inflammatory mediators like lipopolysaccharides, which can then lead to a whole bunch of health benefits. So how do you know if you need to improve your Akkermansia levels? How do you test for Akkermansia? And more important, how do you increase the levels naturally? And if you end up having 0 levels on a stool test, what supplements can be beneficial to improve your Akkermansia levels? In this video, we're going to go into all those details. Have a look in the description. We'll put a guide to how to improve your Akkermansia levels, the best foods to eat, supplements that may be beneficial like prebiotics, and a link to the best probiotic supplement available. So Akkermansia was first discovered in 2004. But being an anaerobic bacteria means it can't survive in an oxygen environment. It was very difficult to study. But over the last few years, there's been a lot more research into Akkermansia, benefits, and there's even been an Akkermansia probiotic that's available for purchase. The best thing I think is to be able to improve the gut microbiome so you can improve your own Akkermansia levels naturally. So let's look at some of the benefits of Akkermansia and why you should care about this bacteria. Akkermansia works on improving your gut barrier. And what this means is it helps to prevent things like intestinal permeability, also known as leaky gut. It does this by degrading something called mucin, which is the main component of the gut mucosa. And this stimulates the production of more mucin and helps to strengthen this gut barrier. This in turn helps to reduce down inflammation, it reduces lipopolysaccharides, and stops them getting into the bloodstream, which leads to systemic inflammation. That's why Akkermansia has been shown to help with things like metabolism, weight loss, diabetes, and overall health. Akkermansia helps to promote appetite-suppressing hormones like peptide Y and glucagon-like peptide or GLP-1. This is the same mechanism that these drugs like Ozempic work. They're GLP-1 agonists, which helps to suppress appetite, leading to weight loss. But if you can do it naturally, that's a better option, with much less side effects. And while Akkermansia may not have the same dramatic weight loss effects as things like Ozempic, it's optimizing your overall health and gut microbiome, so it's going to be better in the long run. And there's some good research showing that it helps to lower your blood glucose levels, your A1C, and also inflammatory levels. So with Akkermansia helping with insulin sensitivity, it can also help to lower cholesterol levels and by influencing lipid metabolism. Cholesterol is metabolized in the liver, and it's also metabolized and cleared out through the gut, so having a good gut microbiome is important for cholesterol management and cardiovascular health. So Akkermansia helps to produce short-chain fatty acids. The most famous one is butyrate, but there's other ones like acetate that help with energy metabolism, and this is produced by bacteria like Akkermansia. So as you can see, Akkermansia works by reducing inflammation, helping maintain a healthy gut barrier, helping with satiety, insulin sensitivity, cholesterol management. So this is a bacteria that you want to have healthy levels of. So what leads to low Akkermansia levels? So one of the biggest influences of low Akkermansia levels is diet. If you're on a high processed food diet, high sugar diet, this has been shown to lead to low Akkermansia levels. Low Akkermansia is also associated with being overweight. People who are overweight often have a low Akkermansia. But are they overweight because of the low Akkermansia, or is the overweightness causing low Akkermansia? It could be a little bit of both. So if you improve your diet, that can help to increase your Akkermansia levels. Another big factor is antibiotic use. And when I look at gut microbiome results from things like the Gutzoomer, GI map test, you'll sometimes see 0 Akkermansia levels. And one of the biggest causes of this is multiple antibiotic treatments. This is the one bacteria that I'll sometimes see 0 levels of. Other lifestyle factors that can influence Akkermansia would be things like stress, poor sleep, being overweight, inflammatory conditions, autoimmune conditions. They've all been linked to low Akkermansia. So how do you know you have low Akkermansia levels? One way is to just look at your overall health. If you're unhealthy, if you're overweight, if you have a lot of inflammation, there's a good chance that your Akkermansia levels are low. The best way to know though is to do a gut microbiome test, like the GI map test from Diagnostic Solutions or the Gutzoomer from Vibrant Wellness. And you can see here, they can show your Akkermansia levels. And whenever you see 0 Akkermansia or low Akkermansia levels, you'll often see on the test, there'll also be high zonulin or leaky gut in conjunction with this. It's very rare that you see 0 Akkermansia and someone that doesn't have leaky gut. So there's a massive connection there. So if your test results show that you have low Akkermansia or no Akkermansia, it doesn't mean you've got to rush out and buy, the Pendulum Akkermansia product, but you want to look at the whole microbiome. If someone has high levels of opportunistic bacteria or pathogens or parasites, you may want to address that first before just rushing out and buying an Akkermansia supplement. It's hard to recolonate the gut bacteria, so if there's a lot of inflammation going on, if there's a lot of dysbiosis, it's going to be hard to stimulate the growth of Akkermansia. So you want to address that first. So you've done the testing of the microbiome. It shows that you have low Akkermansia or even no Akkermansia. Well, there's 3 ways you can raise your Akkermansia levels. One is to promote the growth of Akkermansia with prebiotics. And this can work, especially if you have low Akkermansia levels. You can help to stimulate the growth of Akkermansia. The other one is a Akkermansia probiotic. And this is probably a good idea if you have 0 levels of Akkermansia. If you take prebiotics, they can help feed Akkermansia, but if you have no levels there, you're going to need the Akkermansia as well. So probiotic would be beneficial there. Then the third way is postbiotics. Postbiotics are the products made by probiotics. Things like butyrate, acetate, propionate, they're all short-chain fatty acids made by probiotics. And there's a product out there by Thenobiotic, which is a postbiotic. It's actually made from sterilized fecal transplant. It may sound disgusting, but it has been shown to be one of the best ways to rebalance and improve the microbiome. And it's sterilized, so it's perfectly safe and it's FDA approved. And that can help improve the balance of the microbiome so that you can help to stimulate and grow Akkermansia. So let's look into these 3 ways in a little bit more detail. So the types of prebiotic foods that are going to help to stimulate Akkermansia growth are things like resistant starches. This is things like cooked and cooled potatoes, legumes, lentils, those types of things. Green banana or green banana flour. They're all resistant starches that don't break down the small intestine and provide fuel for the bacteria in the large intestine. Polyphenols are another excellent source. So things like all your different colorful fruits and vegetables. So foods rich in inulin like garlic, onion, artichoke, chicory root. They're also great food for Akkermansia to help it thrive. A lot of these are high FODMAP foods. So if you have a lot of small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, that may need to be addressed first before adding in lots of prebiotic supplements. So if you don't have any Akkermansia present, you want to address the underlying imbalance in the gut bacteria first, things like dysbiosis. But then you can add in supplements like the Pendulum probiotic. I've seen a few supplements out there containing Akkermansia, but I would really only trust the Pendulum brand. They're the ones that have been researching Akkermansia for many years. They spent millions of dollars developing a research facility to make Akkermansia because it needs to be made in anaerobic environment. So it's very difficult to make, which is why so few companies are selling it. Also, I wouldn't buy it from like Amazon or somewhere like that. It needs to be kept cold. I'd get it straight from the Pendulum company if possible. And of course, if you're living a high stress life, not getting enough sleep, have sleep apnea, you want to address those underlying factors as well. The gut-brain axis is very important, and stress can have a big impact on your gut microbiome. And you're having trouble with weight and inflammation, you want to look at this holistically rather than just taking one supplement and expecting miracle results. It doesn't work like that. So the most important thing you can do to improve your Akkermansia levels is to feed your microbiome with the foods and prebiotic supplements that Akkermansia needs. So if you want to find out if you're low in Akkermansia, the next thing I want you to do is go and watch the Gutzoomer video, which is all about the Gutzoomer test, what it tests for, and more importantly, it looks at the short-chain fatty acids and your Akkermansia levels. This way you're going to know for sure if you're low in Akkermansia or not.